All right, we're ready. Welcome, Heather. Tell us about your situation that you'd like to transform.
So it's not a new thing. It's something I've been working on. It's the ability to focus on one thing at a time. So I have multiple projects on the go as per usual, which is great. And I'm always succeeding, and my results are always changing and improving and moving forward. But nothing I still think they're quantum leaps into what I would have got before, but I still know I can get larger quantum leaps if I was more focused. And I just want to see if it's like, do I need to be working on one project at a time for 4 months and then the next? So as we know, I'm an independent Arbonne consultant. So my team is growing, and that's going well. And I have a new consultant on training. And then I am doing some business coaching as well and learning how to launch my online program. And so that launches in February. And at the same time, I am continually pushing myself to write my book and get out of my comfort zone and grow my brand. And I want to take all the material that I'm learning and keep integrating it into my life. And I know that I need to focus. So I did all of the things last year, which was great, right? I got the 2 books. I actually grew my business and my brand online and have a team and a system fully put in place for that now. And the program is now launching, and my team is consistently doing better than it ever has in my network marketing business. And I have a new team, and they're great. And nothing is exactly where I want it to be. Like, I want that quantum leap. So my goal right now is to 4x my income and be an RVP. So I'm a bonusing district regularly, to be an RVP and to have launched my program and have 4 full groups all by May. And the rough version of my book done.
Okay. And
ideally working with Peggy.
Yeah, and you have this done all by May? Is that right?
Yes, that's the goal, May 1st.
Yeah.
2020.
Okay. And what was the growth like in your Arbonne team last year? Like, if we look last year over the year before, was it relatively the same? Like you said, it goes up, but is it like, 10% better month after month, 25, 50?
I think the business just changed. Some people left, some people came.
Yeah.
So just at the end of last year, we were starting to bonus, and now we stay there regularly. So it's a newer team in more activity. I have the most down and the widest with the most people doing the amount of activities, but in numbers, it's near relatively the same to last year. But now it's more consistent. Like right at the end of last year, it was there, and then it went down, and now it's kind of staying there. Now it's time to go.
Okay, so next question is, so we'll bring in the tools of the program. What out of all the things you're up to, what is the closest to your heart? Like, what are you most excited about working on?
The one thing that I've always wanted more than anything is my own virtual coaching business. And I know in Arbonne that is a variation of it, which I do love. And I also want to take everything that I've spent a decade learning and in my program and have that. So I work with entrepreneurs mostly one-on-one in holistic coaching, but I want to do that virtually in a program. So I think that one is the one. So the Own It Mastermind is my one that's closest.
Yeah. And have you ever worked on one thing exclusively to see what happens? Like, put your energy there, spin the plate until it gets going, and then move?
So I feel like I kind of did that quarterly last year. And that's why it in the last quarter was really the launch of the books, which is a must for all of the brands and stuff. But that also meant I even had to ask my upline to step in to help some of my team because I couldn't be there as much as they needed.
Mhm.
So that meant that lulled for a bit. And at least it maintained and stayed. So
Mhm.
yes, but only for short periods of time.
Uh-huh. And so it sounds like you have a belief that if you're and like if you're not over there, it's the results are going to go down.
I guess so.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one to catch, right? Because like it really, and you know this, Heather, like whatever we're believing we get,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's what it sounds like you get to have it all. You get to have all this work. You get like all of these businesses work in your life as one under the brand of Heather Chapman. Like that is all possible. What needs to happen is the energy, like the cleaning up the beliefs with each of these businesses. It sounds like how much time, um, like the idea that if you're not over here, it's going to go down. And it doesn't need to be that way. In fact, Heather, I know this to be true, is that like businesses grow while you're on the beach. And you know, businesses grow while we're sleeping, we're attracting, you know, and if we have the belief, if we believe that it's hard, and I'm speaking from my own experience as well, like it really does come down to the belief. So what are the beliefs? What is a belief that you want about to have about your business? Either any of them, you can pick any of them.
So I think it goes straight across the board for all of them is that effective leads flow to me easily and effortlessly and immediately.
Yeah, good. And what about time? Let's talk about time.
And that I, between all the businesses, can still put in like part-time into that so that I'm spending the other half of my time learning and enjoying life.
Awesome. Have you, and be honest with me, have you really written out what that looks like?
I am in the process of writing out my life script for the next year.
Yeah.
I do know that I want my coaching business, so the Own It Mastermind, not to take a maximum of 8 hours a week.
Yeah.
That's what I decided. Arbonne, 10 to 15 as well. I want to really have systems in place, so I am working on that right now. And then I want to write my book an hour a day.
Yeah. So I want you to go and really get clear on that, and don't let the weekend go by without you doing that. And so this is why, and I want in the writing, clearing up those beliefs. So I want you to see, like, no kidding, you have it all. So because you have it all, what does that look like? And writing out, you know, the clients you're attracting, the business partners you're attracting, all of it. And how, like you said, how much time you're spending. But I want you to see in this picture that while you're over here working on, you know, the books, the online stuff is still flourishing. And because you've said, because that's what you want, and no other reason, because of that. And like I'm coming from a place of experiencing this for myself, so not that I've arrived, but like it's magical when we can. And you know, like, to shift the belief, we need repetition, right? You're going to need the repetition of this, because at the moment it's clear that the belief is, if I'm here, then this suffers, if I'm there, that suffers. So that's it's about reprogramming that belief. And listen, it's not true, because like I can prove, I have evidence around me that that's not true, that we don't need, like, one doesn't need to suffer at the expense of others. You can have it all. And so it's the repetition of that. What if you if you is there any fear around the Arbonne business? Like, is there any paradigm that you have around leadership there? Like, so for example, what I was picking up there was like, if you're not there, they won't do it, or they won't know what to do.
Partially, I am trying to put everything in place so that they can just log into my Facebook group and everything's in the units, so that I guess that fear is not there.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess if I'm not continuously sharing the actions that I'm up to, that they're not doing it, And I know a lot of them are not doing the extent of the mindset work that I'm doing. So I guess maybe I have a paradigm that their results are going to take them longer.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. So what
And
if you believe that you attract people with desire that, are self-starters?
self-starters already ready to go,
Hmm.
entrepreneurial mindset already ready to go. Been working on an affirmation around that. And then also I know that part of it is that every time I do sign a new consultant, it is a lot. As you're launching them, you're talking to them every day, you're coaching them, you're coaching them in business, but you're also coaching them in life,
Hmm.
and mindset and everything. Actually, my new consultant just bought The Science of Getting Rich in 6 Minutes to Success. So she started that. So that's awesome. So that's great. That's my new self-starter, very independent that way. But I guess I have a thing also around when I sign somebody, it's this much more work.
Well,
There's
yeah,
something that,
and you just said it. You said when I sign someone, it's a lot. So your mind's going to stop you from signing people because
yeah,
it's a lot. So what if it's not a lot? What if it's joy and bliss and ease, and it's really it goes back to like I want you to be really crystal clear. That's why I said be honest with me what you have written down, because it doesn't feel like there's the clarity in the like actually what you want in order for all of these businesses to work with while you're on the beach, for example, not even working one of them, which is possible. I mean, does that mean always? No. Do you have to show up? Yeah. Like, I mean, but like, what is it that you want? What do you want to believe, and how can it grow?
I want to believe that I can put 20 hours a week into growing my businesses maximum. And if I decide that I want to go away for 2 weeks at a time, whether it's to do charitable work or for a vacation, that I can still run it virtually from my smartphone and everything is running seamlessly and everyone knows where to get everything they need. And I just know where I need to be at what time, and I can show up and do my best and deliver and serve, and then go back to my vacation or building a school or whatever that looks like.
That's great. So what we just did was so you're using your reasoning muscle to really think about it, right? And you identified what you're saying to yourself about the situation. And so you want to notice that, like, how I say is be careful of what I'm thinking or saying because I'm listening. So I suspect that there's like other things that you're thinking about the other businesses that you're literally like putting the roadblock. And I was saying today on the webinar, it's like the pipe. So you've got like an income goal that you want monthly, and you want it to come from these three things that you've just said, and you've set that up. And now it's about removing the blocks from that so that the water can just flow. And it sounds too that you probably have micro goals for each one of those businesses. Is that right?
Yes.
You'll need to start thinking about, like, if this was easy, if I thought recruiting and registering a new business partner was easy, and it was I want to use the opposite of a lot of time. So what does that look like? Without using like a lot of time. Easy and like I was effective maybe. Like ideally, like what could I do? How would I think of this? Like, and you want to start thinking, like opening up to your goal achieved and asking yourself, like, how can I be recruiting 5 business partners every week? And what would that look like so that I can be more effective and still have the freedom? And what came to mind when I was thinking of this for you was like, what if you created a system where you launch business partners on every Friday, and every Friday you brought in a group, or maybe it's once a month to start, and it's a group and you train them all together.
Mm. And I also, when you said that, I pictured creating a system that has like week 1 video steps, attachments, week 2 video steps, attachments. So then I can say, okay, have you done your stuff from week 1? Then we don't have a call, so that it's equal. And that call, and if I'm launching them all at the same time, then it means they've all watched that video and then they're all coming on that call. So it's 1 hour of me and 10 consultants.
You got it. You're leveraging your time, right? So you want to start thinking about what it is I want, and then how, like, if I want it to be less time and free and easy, then this is where I'm opening up. So what pipes do I need to put into place for it to flow for that one business? And then same thing for here and here, but always going back to exactly what you want, right? So for you, it's like that time piece is important.
To study, to learn, to read, to vacation, to give back, to be doing other charitable things.
Yeah. Yeah. So go into, like, write out, I would use lesson 2, you know, how he writes out, like, how do you truly feel about the situation, get all the emotion, then write out how you want it to be, because it feels like there's negative, what he's calling in lesson 5 here, negative pole thinking. And negative pole, and it comes back to attitude too, doesn't it? It's like thoughts, feelings, actions about like them working in harmony, or maybe it's even each individual business, like what we just saw with Arbonne. Like, that's a complete conflict of interest. If you say you want, 5 new business partners in a month, and then each business partner is a lot to train, they're not in a match.
No. The universe is confused.
Yeah. It's like, but it's hard. I can't give you hard. Yeah.
You said you want it easy.
It's easy and free. And that also goes back to who you're attracting. So making sure you're very, very clear on that. And you can even put in your self-image script. Like, why not? This is why mine was 17 pages, right? Write out about who you're attracting. And then, there might be some residual energy in your field, and you may find that you're still attracting maybe more needy people. It's your responsibility to hold true to what you want,
Got it.
Yeah.
Self-sufficient. Okay. So writing maybe even a full page instead of a little bit more specific about what that person looks like, that ideal client, that ace, the entrepreneur, and that the work is always joyous. It's always effective. It's always an effective use of my time. And then that they all work in harmony. That I can do them all. And all that I'm learning can be impactful for all the systems, for all the businesses.
Yeah. I would make sure that the words you're using are like they're coming from you. So like, keep out of any like Arbonne speak or company speak as much as possible. Like, keep them about, so that you can attract, because they're not in the company when you attract them, right? So keep them. Like, I wouldn't use maybe a word ace, because doesn't really know what that word means.
Okay.
Yeah, so as specific as possible, so that when you meet Sarah on the street tomorrow, if she was to describe herself in her words, she would match your description that you wrote.
And she wouldn't say ace.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
She might. Yeah. Hi, I'm your ace. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah. Good. So this is good.
There's an energy around responsibility and work. I know that that's a thing. Every time I step up a level, I know it's stepping into a new version of me. And I know it's changing the way things work, and it's getting more comfortable with change. And some kind of like notation that like responsibility or the new challenges in the business or the growth of the businesses is joyous and easy.
Yeah, because right now the perception is that the change is hard and takes more time. And when you level up, it's going to take more of your time. Yeah. So again, writing that out, because that's not true. See, like, it's belief. And so as long as you're holding on to it, it's got to prove you're right. And so, and Heather, you also have the power to accept at any moment a new belief. Like, does that belief serve you? And is it true? Do you know people with more that have leveled up where it's not more time?
When I think about it, I think in the initial periods, yes. So I was I was answering the questions last night. I am on lesson 5, and I think it was on perception. So I was writing about this and about that. Like I'm willing to, I even think I wrote, I'm willing to sacrifice what I need to do in order to have what like most will not, so I can live the life that most will not. Because I know that that sacrifice might mean reading a book instead of watching a Netflix, and it doesn't have to have a negative connotation.
Totally.
But
That word, even the sacrifice, check the energy behind it.
no, I had a hard time writing it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's, and some people sacrifice works, but it doesn't feel like for you that's a word, that's a positive word.
It's not.
Yeah. So why sacrifice? Why can't we have it all? And so where I think I'd like you to go is, what are you going to give in return? Because you can't get something for nothing. So, and does it's like sacrifice is like, oh, but I really want that. Like I've got to feel pain for me to succeed. There's growth for you to succeed, and the growth can be uncomfortable, but sometimes it's just like really looking yourself in the eye and being honest about the growth, right? But it's not like you've got to give up your firstborn child or something, you know? Like it's not like we're doing that kind of exchange. It's like, what are you willing to give? And yeah, sometimes it give up shows, sure. But what are you willing to give? And it's like, think about it this way too, Heather. Like, what am I willing to give up in my paradigm, my way of being? Maybe it's a perception of how I know myself.
Someone that overdoes it gets burnt out regularly.
Yeah.
I teach on self-care, and then I can have it all and be healthy at the same time.
And so what would it like, if you were giving up the idea though that you had to like hustle, is there some self-worth attached to that idea? Like, I'm not worthy unless I'm
productive.
Yep. Boom. That's
I
it.
literally was singing "A Diva is the female version of a hustler" the other night.
Yeah. So that's not true.
No.
That's not true. So there's worth, and you get your goal even when you're not productive. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, and I shared this on the webinar, I think it was today, with the pipe thing, like anytime that you have the paradigm to go like hustle and work and call, I want you to actually go sit on the couch and go to spirit and resist the feeling of going to message people. And what you want to do is start to accept the belief that what you're doing is enough to get you to the goal. And when you're sitting on the couch, you're going to ask for guidance. And it's around the trust that the guidance you get and the pipes you've set up are the exact ones to bring the flow of people. See, the water, the tap is unlimited. And so where there's a gap is in your belief. You don't believe that the pipes that you've set up are going to give you the results.
I got when you said doing enough, there's something about I'm not doing enough.
Yeah. And so that force negates. And the idea of having to do more is a big part of the problem, because what's happening is you need to get into the spirit of it. I want you to read Getting into the Spirit of It too, that document PDF.
I have it here.
Yeah. Read it every single day for 90 days, ideally with like some partner, maybe Shelley, and resist every time that you want to hustle, like when there's no evidence. And this is hard, believe me, because I'm on the same journey. I want you to go sit on the couch, and it will be like, feel like anxiety because it's so far outside. But this is the part of working smarter, not harder. You break through this is the quantum leap you're looking for. Because
I really actually tried this on the weekend. Esther Hicks video that I shared, she was like, do nothing today. I was like, it actually made me like angry inside.
Yeah. So that's a good sign. That's where you need to go.
Okay. So it's okay to relax and make money at the same time. It's okay.
It's not only okay, it's necessary for your growth because you've maxed yourself out.
Got it. Yes. Physically can no longer push any further.
So
Yeah.
you don't have a choice. So what I'm saying, like, these are the words that you want to like accept for yourself, right? Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like it's, remember too, it's 95% strategy, 5% strategy, 5% doing, 95% mindset belief, right? So you need to go into the spirit of it, and you'll notice when you read this, it's the spirit. So do you remember the part in Entering the Spirit of It? He says the universe is like, we can anxiously in our physical bodies be calculating, like, if our plan will work. And we're calculating, and after all of our calculations, we'll find out that we made a miscalculation in our elaborate plan and we didn't get there. But what we don't realize, and we complete our circle of ignorance by doing just more action, 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 doing. And we complete the circle of ignorance by doing that. And we don't understand that by going into the spirit of it, we tap into source. And that is what the Bible calls the wonderful number. And it has its own mathematics with it. So here we are in physical action trying to take and figure it out, do. If we just would have calm, slow down, went to spirit, visualized it, and trust that everything we set up is exactly what is needed to achieve our goal, then we see the results. We fuck it up.
That all happened on Monday. So I was trying to calculate a goal. And then I was like, I heard that exact saying. I'm like, close the book. So I'm trying to calculate it. And I was like, so if this already occurred, you could just for the next even 10 minutes, try to just pretend like it's already happened and act as if. And it's a lot. I almost said harder than you think.
So, and this is the growth.
Yeah.
And so, and let's talk about the act as if it's already happened. How would you be with your goal achieved? This is really important because people think that they would be like jumping all around in excitement. They use the word excited.
Calm. Just be so relaxed.
Calm. That's it. It's not excitement. You guys, when we hit our goal and after it's achieved, it's like you might cheer for like 10 seconds. Okay, like, let's be honest with ourselves. So this is, we're missing the mark here, because where we go in our mind is like this excitement. It's not excitement that we're trying to get into the spirit of, are we? It's this calmness of mind because we've already achieved it. So it's past the point where you realize you've hit the mark, and it's on the other side. You'd be calm. You're right. You'd be confident, wouldn't you? You'd reach out in a different energy because it's already done. And you also wouldn't be attached to the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be taking action. You'd be in service to your prospects who will say yes, and then you'll change their lives. Like, and so when you go and sit on the couch, it's getting into that energy and asking for guidance. I want to bring
as the first time you said to sit on the couch, I started my to-do list for the couch. I was like, okay, so you need to sit, you need to take 3 breaths, you need to set your intention, you need to
you just sit, and you just sit, and you get into the feeling of the goal achieved, and you can therefore like then ask for a sign or guidance, but you just get to sit. Remember when I was saying you've got to be a good receiving set this morning on the call? You've got to be calm enough to hear the messages. And Heather, I want you to really understand your part as well. Your part, what you have to do is you just need to decide on what it is that you want. You sit for idea, you ask for guidance to get like the system that you need, or the Facebook post, or the name that you need to reach out to. And you trust that that's enough for the water to flow through. You sit back and you relax again.
Got
And
that.
then you go back, and that's how you take the action.
And I've done it before, and now it will be consistent.
Also know you do need the struggles to grow, right? So you need the hiccups, or you need the no's, or even the doubts to get through to grow. And those doubts never go away. So know that you need that to level up.
Contrast.
Yeah. But you sit back and you have a faith that I would also take a look at that faith chapter. And when you're writing your goal, what is my attitude around this? Do I have absolute faith that this is coming together? And it's not based on past experiences. It's based on law.
I did write out yesterday in the perception about, I know that it is based off law, and for the last 2 years the results have been continually changing, and I know they will continue to change, and like they're not the same over and over again, and thus I must just sit in faith, because I know this to be true now, like I actually do.
Yeah. And the thing is you're going in the right direction, right? And everything that's happened up until now needed to happen to get you to here, to this level of awareness, to be ready to study entering into the spirit of it, even, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ready to step into it. So it's all perfect. Like, that's the thing. We want to acknowledge how far you have come and this awareness that you do have. And it's not about that. It's like, this is why staying objective is really important, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It really is, because the moment that we take something serious, personally, we're dead in the water. And it's about being objective, and seeing it as almost like a game. Like, as soon as you discover that you can sit on the couch, think of a plan, implement, go back to the couch, stay in a great vibration, and win big, you're like, come on. And so
That sounds great.
all of it is the discovery of it. And knowing too that the people you are committed to serving are being served, right? So it's like making sure that your self-image knows that it's not like you're like going back to sit on the couch and eat burgers and not serve anyone. You're serving. So it's like you're meeting the expectation. It's just not done in the way that you've always been doing it.
And something just came up where I know I have value. I know I have a lot of value, and I know that there's a space for me in the market. There's something about not just that I do enough, but like I am enough, or I know enough. There's something around just being enough and sitting in faith.
So what's the opposite? If you knew that I am enough, that still has an energy of lack, I think. What's a statement that you can create around, instead of like, I'm enough?
I've been using I'm proud of myself, but it doesn't sound the same as like knowing I have all that I need.
Yeah, and I'm exactly, like, people are waiting for me. I'm exactly what my prospects, my clients need. I'm like, it's having the confidence that you're attracting the people that only you can attract, which is truth. That's true for all of us. Your voice is different than anyone else's. It has to be, because there's no other Heather Chapman, right? And your perspective is different based on all of your awareness and all of your experiences. And because of that, it resonates with an audience that only you can resonate with.
I got that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then inside I just went, boy, that's scary.
So you're hitting the terror barrier, so you're emotionally involved, which is like absolutely where we want you.
Oh yeah, okay.
Right? Absolutely. It's your time. And it's like no more hiding, because I'm very much connected to that, like you're ready. Very much connected to that, you've been laying the groundwork.
I'm ready, and I want to create an affirmation around that. I'm ready, and not that I am enough. I have all that I need.
More than
I have more than I need.
faith. It's because you're now living in harmony with the laws and entering into the spirit of it, and it's your connection with spirit. That's why you're more than enough, because spirit is limitless creator who can't fail, Heather. And you're an extension and a oneness with that. So if spirit can't fail and you're an extension of spirit, then you can't fail.
So I will always be successful.
Yeah, I mean, the definition of success, right? Moving closer towards your goal.
Yes.
Yeah, I would check your perspective on success. So just break that one down, a little bit of belief around success, to make sure that you're coming from, like when you're thinking that, like, because when an obstacle comes and something happens, do you still get to say I'm successful?
Probably in the past, no.
Yeah. Yeah, good. So we're just going to catch that. Does that belief serve me? No. What belief do I want to accept right now?
I'm continuously moving towards my goal, which means I'm on the right path and I'm being successful.
Got it. You got it. And as long as I'm committed to showing up, which I am a success, because each and every day I get better and better and better. Therefore, that's the definition of success. Success isn't measured by my performance and how many hours I put in. I'm a success right where I am.
Got that.
Yeah, that's good. Good. So I
want just record that.
Yeah, it's
repeat.
Yeah, you're great. You're on the right track. I want you to break down those 3 businesses, the perspective of them, of catching those beliefs that are limiting and blocking. And I want you to see it as they're blocks in your pipes. You're removing them. And then what's the equal and opposite? And be disciplined with this so that you're no longer going to accept them, right? But it's at the same time, you're very much going into the spirit before everything. Okay. So getting into the spirit of it each and every day, so that you're committed to doing that, and sitting on the couch when you have the desire to take action. Now, are you sitting on the couch all day, all night? No. You're sitting on the couch for like a 5-minute period, bringing yourself to visualization and feeling the like, oh no, I'm supposed to be making calls. Feel it. Feel your paradigm like kick and scream. And do it anyway. Be in the spirit of it anyway. Connect to source so you can get a hit, and ask for signs. Ask, like, if I'm on the right track, like send me that business partner. Like let the universe know that you're lacking faith, and ask for signs. And then you have to believe the sign.
So I do, and I really started feeling it last week. I said that, and a truck went by that said like the word that I was thinking of, and it was like the miracle movers. And it drove right by, and I was like, okay, got it. Listening.
So make it something significant. That's important.
Okay. Like a result.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
Numbers, Yeah. Awesome. Well done. Thank you. You got to thank you in the chat too. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was really, really great. Fantastic.
It's good. You're going to do some writing. I want you to circle back and let know. Yeah, it's good. You're really on the right track. You're playing with your thoughts now, right? And accepting the belief. Well done.
And now using imagination, because that's the one I'm writing on tonight. So perfect.
Well done. Thank you for being on the hot seat, Heather.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, you're going to follow up, and we'll see
Yes.
everyone in the community for day 2 of the challenge. Thank you for being here, everyone, and listening, and
Thanks, guys.
what you heard for yourself. Bye, Heather.
Bye, guys.
Bye.